The narcissist corrupts. Truth seeker. Truth seeker, the pursuit of truth. A noble ideal indeed, is it not? It sounds as if you ought to be armed with your sword of justice and your shield of purity as you make your way through the Badlands in order to find the truth. In fact, this is what you, as an empathic individual, is unwittingly doing when you become engaged with our kind. All empaths are truth seekers, and for some, this empathic trait is particularly strong. You want the truth, and you will apply your indefatigable spirit to acquiring it without understanding the toll that this misguided folly will have on you as a whole. The need to be told the truth, the need to find the truth, the need to know the truth. Being a truth seeker is a core empathic trait, and as you would expect, it invariably leads you into the trap of being ensnared by our kind, and is thus heavily exploited by us, either consciously where greater or ultra, or unconsciously where lesser or mid-range narcissist. Often, however, your corruption arises from the emotional thinking which is increased as a consequence of your interaction with us. Your truth-seeking trait is used against you, either directly by the corruption caused by the narcissist's own behavior towards you, or indirectly as a consequence of the increase in your emotional thinking, which is always caused by the narcissist, and this elevated emotional thinking corrupting your truth-seeking, to cause you to think that you're seeking the truth and this is the right thing to do, when actually it is not. Being a truth seeker is a trait of the empath which we corrupt, and we are aided and abetted by your emotional thinking. Those who are empathic tell the truth, or at least what they perceive as the truth from their majority perspective. This is because not only do you seek the truth, but you are regulated by your empathic trait of honesty. It is important for an empath to establish the truth of a situation, the truth at the heart of an individual, and in so doing, allowing them to reconcile their own truths. The empath must know the truth. The empath must not only need to understand why somebody is as they are, but they have to be satisfied that this is the truth of the matter. The desire for the truth makes an empath extremely vulnerable to us, since we deal in lies, trade in deceit, and all our currency is counterfeit. Take, for instance, at the outset of the narcissistic dynamic, when we begin our seduction of the empath. The empath wishes to know that this wonderful person is true in their intentions. And whilst the empath might be pleased that others talk about how enamoured the narcissist is about them, or how the narcissist seems utterly smitten, the empath must establish the truth from the narcissist themselves. This, of course, opens the empath up to the charm, the magnetism, and allure of the scintillating narcissist, as naturally, as part of our conscious or unconscious seduction of you, we are only too happy to tell you what you want to hear, to show you what you want to see, and to do what you would have us do. We create a truth that accords with your own, but it is actually a fabrication. But at this stage, you do not know this. You do not know this because you don't know who you are dealing with, and your emotional thinking obscures, causing you to fail to spot the relevant red flags. Already, your pursuit of the truth by seeking it from us becomes corrupted, because the necessity of hearing us say things and seeing us do things causes you to interact more closely with us. The more closely that you interact with us, the more heightened your emotional thinking becomes, the less likely you are to see the red flags, and you believe that you are seeing the truth when you are not. Oblivious to who you are dealing with, until otherwise educated, the empath will, through his or her trusting nature and propensity to deal honestly with others, accept what the narcissist says and does. That amounts to the truth for you. We are, of course, skilled through our mirroring back at you your own truths, and thus, as you seek the truth, you are shown it. What you don't realize is that you are looking at your own truth, but since it is your truth and not ours, it is utterly convincing. The adoration that you exhibit towards us is mirrored and reflected back at you. You wish to seek the truth of that adoration, and what do you see? An adoration that is on the same par as your own. How can there not appear to be the truth? In seeking the truth, but looking for it from one who lies so effectively and defrauds with ease, all you are actually finding is your own truth. But you fail to recognize it as such, and thus you feel you have found the truth, and you are convinced that what you see is genuine love, genuine passion, genuine compassion, genuine adoration. But it is not. Already, your truth is being corrupted by us. You might liken it to a person who carries with him or her one half of a precious gem and seeks the other half. This person encounters a mirror, but doesn't know that it is a mirror, and thinks that they see the other half stood before them since it looks so convincing, yet try to touch or grasp or find any depth or substance to the supposed other half, and it simply is not there. This is what eventually happens when devaluation occurs, as you are then able to see the reflection, and it dawns on you that all you are looking at is what you already had, being made to appear like something else. Your truth is being used against you. Thus, in wanting to find the truth, and being shown your truth and not ours, you are utterly convinced as to the legitimacy of our love, passion, and desire for you. Your truth-seeking has made you vulnerable to our deceitful manipulations from the very beginning. Yet the matter worsens. Your pursuit of the truth leaves you vulnerable to perhaps one of the most confusing and bewildering aspects of the narcissistic dynamic, the need to establish the truth during your devaluation, or whether it is the corrective devaluation of the secondary source or the sustained devaluation of the intimate partner primary source. Once those machinations have been wheeled out against you, the gaslighting commences, the lies are told, the insults rain down, the intimidation and so much more is used against you. Your quest for the truth has you stuck in the quagmire of our manipulations for a considerable time. Firstly, you fail to accept that the monster which now prevents you from getting a good night's sleep, that erupts at the slightest criticism, that becomes demanding over apparently nothing, is the person that you fell in love with, or who loves you. This is not the truth that stands before you. The truth must surely have been the person who first seduced you. You know that to be the case because you sought the truth, and then during the seduction you saw it and you established it, or so you believe. It is that magical, wonderful, adoring person who seems to have vanished, and in its stead you now see some grotesque version of the person that you love. That is not the truth that shouts at you and belittles you. That is not the truth that turns each time you want to go out with your friends into a battle, and that is not the truth that turns its back on you every night in bed. You want to find the true us, the one that you saw at the beginning, the one that you established during seduction. And that need, that desire, and that pursuit of this truth means you remain in situ, not escaping, and allowing our abuses to rain down on you once again. Secondly, you experience the downside of our pathological lies during the devaluation. You were lied to, naturally, during the seduction, but you didn't see it. You thought it was the truth, and you established it as such, and besides, those lies felt good, didn't they? Yet now, the lies wound and hurt. They scar and mark, as we tell you lies about what we have been doing, where we have been, and who with. You are no fool, or so you think, for you have followed us, had others report to you, and you know the truth of what has been happening. Now you must establish that truth with us. You must seek the truth from our lips without you realizing that you will not be provided with such a thing. The lesser and mid-range narcissist cannot give you your truth, because their narcissism will not allow them to do so. And the greater or the ultra will never knowingly provide that to you, for to do so would be to cede control to you. Your relentless pursuit of the truth. Why did this person treat me the way that they did? Or, I want them to know the hurt that I have felt. Or, I want them to know that they are a narcissist. I want them to know how they have behaved. I want other people to know about how this person has behaved to me. All of this is driven by your truth-seeker trait, which becomes corrupted. Because in the pursuit of that truth, not only will you not get the outcome that you want, namely, if you ask the narcissist, tell me why you did what you did, you won't be given the truth. The lesser and mid-range narcissists don't know the real reason why they treated you as they did. They cannot tell you that it was for the prime aims. They cannot tell you that it was for fuel, control, character traits, and residual benefits. They will give you some other answer, which is designed by their narcissism to reject the threat that your quest for the truth poses to their control. The greater and the ultra will not tell you, because it is far more entertaining to see you scrambling to try to get the answers from us, and failing. And, of course, to tell you would be to give control to you, and this can never happen. All you'll do is fail in that quest for the truth by asking the narcissist. You will give us fuel, meaning we win. You'll suffer an adverse consequence. You'll become upset. You'll be frustrated. You'll become angry. You may even be assaulted. You may even find yourself the recipient of a restraint order as a consequence of us saying, this person keeps haranguing us, only because you're seeking the truth, but we will not provide it to you, and you will only increase your emotional thinking further. You think that getting the answers from us is the right thing to do. It is not. You think that getting us to see what we are is the right thing to do. It is not. You think exposing us to other people, demonstrating the truth of what we are, is the right thing to do. It is not. But this is where your truth-seeker trait is corrupted as a consequence of your continuing involvement with the narcissist and the effect of your emotional thinking. Your pursuit of the truth becomes a dizzying quest which gets you ultimately nowhere. If you want the answers as to why the narcissist does as he does, I will give you those answers with no downside. You will not be interacting with the narcissist. You will not be lashed out at. You will not become hurt, angry, or frustrated, because you will receive the cold, hard truth. And from there, you will gain the understanding. But if you seek the truth from the narcissist, if you seek the truth from other people, asking them, why do you think he's done this? They don't know about narcissism. They won't be able to give you the correct answer. And all you've done is enter another arena of interaction, increased your emotional thinking, and not got anywhere. Your desire to get to the truth, to hold the truth in front of us and get us to acknowledge it, means you become drawn into the circular arguments, the endless arguments, the denial, the switching and the deflections which leave you shattered, mystified and spent. Why can't he see the truth when I can? Of course, the lesser and mid-range cannot. The narcissistic perspective will not let them. And the greater and the ultra will not tell you. But you don't realise this. You don't realise that we are operating with our own toxic logic. You're not privy to such information at the time you're seeking answers from the narcissist, and that you gird your loins, climb back on your steed, and ride out once again in the pursuit of the truth. It's no surprise, then, that you gallop into the swamp and become bogged down by the lies, untruths, and mendacity. During devaluation, it's often the case that you'll turn to others to seek confirmation that the truth you once witnessed is indeed the truth, and you can find it once again. You end up seeking the truth from our coterie, our minions and our lieutenants. You go to them and need to ascertain that we surely are a decent person who is loving and caring, are we not? You walk straight into the facade and its false truth. You hear the answers which you want to hear. We are lauded for our generosity. We are praised for our kindness. We are complimented on our good humour, easy charm, and reliability. There it is. You have sought the truth once again, and you have found it. Yet you fail to recognize it as the false truth and the false hope which it engenders. Instead of realizing the devaluing behavior is the truth of what you are dealing with, and thus escape, you believe falsely that the person that came before can be recovered, and you remain in place, taking comfort from the facade, taking comfort from what the facade has told you, and redoubling your efforts to establish the truth with us, to make us see. Thus you remain, and exhaust yourself, tilting against the windmill that is us when you think that you have slain the dragon. Your empathic trait of being a truth seeker is corrupted so that you are vulnerable to our seduction, and you become extremely vulnerable to the effects of our mind games, manipulations, and habitual lying. Were this where it ends, but it is not, for your quest for the truth has a further blow to administer to you. The empathic trait of being a truth seeker heightens your susceptibility to post-escape and post-disengagement hoovers. When we open those shutters and allow the bright shining light of the golden period to fall upon your face, you instantly believe that the truth has returned. That false truth that you were shown first of all, that feels such a long time ago, has come back. All is not lost. The truth has returned. It is in your grasp, and all you need to do is seek out and embrace it and return to our fold. By seeking out the truth once again, you fall prey to our hoovers, and our control over you is increased once more. Driven by the corrupting nature of your emotional thinking, you fail to realize that once you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, that is it. Once you know, you go. You get out and you stay out. Instead, you spend your time asking, but why? But why? But why? Rather than thinking, this is a narcissist, I should have nothing more to do with them. You try to get answers from us, from other people. You keep running over events in your mind. Your high emotional thinking keeping the narcissist lodged there. And what you ought to be realizing is the fact that you can't understand shows that you're not yet ready to do so, that you're not ready to understand the truth of what you have been dealing with. Instead, your emotional thinking cons you into thinking, I must get to the truth of this matter, because if I do, I will then be able to understand and move forward. But what you don't realize is you've been trying to do this for weeks, if not months, and you have not done so far. And all you're doing is staying stuck in a circle because your pursuit of the truth keeps you thinking about the narcissist, talking about the narcissist, watching what the narcissist is doing. This keeps your emotional thinking high, which enables it to corrupt your truth seeker trait even further, so that you stay in the game, talking about the narcissist, thinking about the narcissist, watching what the narcissist is doing, trying to get answers from the narcissist, who is no longer wanting anything more to do with you. You keep thinking, I've got to work this out, I've got to understand, I've got to find the truth. And you fail to notice that you've been going round and round and round, and that you can't get the truth because your emotional thinking hasn't let you see it. It is like you are trying to plant a seed in winter in cold, frozen ground. It will not grow. You need to make space for the logic, and then you can understand. What you must do is follow my work, for within it, that is where your truth seeker trait will be sated. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.